Guys, the GPS helicopters just keep getting better. We have a scale model by Airbus. It's the EC-135, and yes, mine did come damaged, not because of FLYWING, but because the guy that was delivering it, I don't know, he must just not know how to drive a forklift and sent the forklift straight through my package. Now, I could have put a claim in through FedEx, but FLYWING was great, man. They said, hey, send it back to us. We'll fix it, and then we'll, ship it back to you. Now, I didn't do that yet because it does still fly, and I want to fly it for a video. I had this for a while. I probably should have just put a claim in how long it took me to make this video for you guys, but hey, it is what it is. It still flies, and it looks amazing. Now, I will have to use tape, and you'll see it in the video, because part of him hitting this thing with whatever they did, they also broke the clips that hold the battery in. But that brings us to our next point, right? We have a gear-driven main motor in there. I don't know if you could see that little, like, worm gear style. The tail with, look at this, what is this, 6-blade propeller, man? Direct drive. This thing's gonna sound great. And it runs a 4S. So 4S, 5,000 milliamp battery right here. FLYWING XT60 connector. So if you guys have any 4,000s to probably 6,000s, you could run them in this. They're saying you're getting 20 plus minutes of flight time. I'm gonna be a little skeptical about that. I would say maybe 12 to 15, but if you guys fly longer than 20 minutes, let me know how that works out. Now, if you see here and you think it is kind of annoying to transport, they did make quick release blades. You push in, it's like spring loaded, turn them, and these things pop out. See the little grooves inside those blades right there? Makes it nice and easy to transport this thing. You don't have to worry about, breaking your blades when you throw it in the back of your car. So big plus there, man. I'm loving that. And all in, these GPS helicopters are just great for beginners to fly. So let's get this thing turned on. I'm gonna show you here. Hold both of these buttons right here. All switches will need to be up. You see it's gonna yell at you. Now once it turns on, just get in the habit of putting it back into GPS mode. There she goes. Now that light is gonna tell us what mode we're in. So right now it's initializing, and while it's blinking, that means it's searching for GPS. We have to wait for that to go solid green. Once that goes solid green, we are ready to fly. So it could take, could take 30 seconds, could take a minute, could take 3 minutes, depending on where you are and, how accessible the satellites in the sky are. So let's wait for that to turn green, and then we're gonna get this thing in the air. All right, she's green, and that means we gotta finagle our little canopy on, which is broken. And yes, I am using just some purple painter's tape, get this thing locked in. Not a big deal. All right, now I'm gonna put it out on the grass just for safety reasons, because she's a big unit and I don't need to take off anybody's feet. Now guys, on this remote here, I'm going to show you. The remote has, well, let me flip the camera around. Now I'm going to show you guys on the screen the remote here. So you have stop and run. If you're not using it, you always want to be in stop. We also have pre-programmed flight mode. So today we're flying in normal. I'll show you if you put it to 0, it flies in a circle, figure 8, flies in a figure 8. You also have return to home, like it's a GPS drone. You have GPS mode, which we're flying in today, and you also have 3D mode, which I will bring this to a field eventually and show you that. This switch is actually not used. So what we're going to do to get it started, you're going to hold these bottom corners for 5 seconds, and then you just turn it to run. She's going to spool up. Now guys, the spool up on these helis is pretty scary, man, but they do fly well, so don't worry about it. She's up, just like that. I'm gonna bring it into the middle of the yard and show you guys kind of what it's about, man. Now these will fight the wind, so don't be too scared if you have a little bit of wind. It's not a big deal. Now we're gonna go full left rudder. Show you how dialed in that is, and how much control it actually has. Like for a GPS heli, that is a lot of throw. We're gonna go full right rudder. And notice when I stop, it stops instantly. There's no delay. I go, guys, that's like super powerful. Now we're gonna go full right aileron, and I'm gonna stop. Levels itself out. Full left aileron, stop. Levels itself out. I'm gonna show you full forward speed. Oh, that's up. Full forward speed, stop. Give it a second. Let it hold that GPS signal. That was the first time I've ever seen a GPS heli wander. I wonder if it's because it's a little windy. I'm gonna go full backwards and stop. That's it, guys. I'm doing that, don't worry. Cheyenne's terrified right now. I'm just buzzing around. I'm getting a feel for it. It's been a while since I flew one of these GPS helis. Guys, this one is incredibly easy to see. It looks amazing. And you know what? Like, I am flying a damaged heli right now, so I'm curious if, you know, some of that wander on the forward and back is something inside is actually damaged. So you might see I'm going to be extremely careful during this video, but I did want to show you this thing flying. FLYWING is going to get their hands on this thing and really go over it, fix the body, and, you know, they'll check all the electronics. Now let's bring it up. Plenty of power on the up, guys. Get it above those trees, because that's where the wind is. You guys can see it fighting it. I'm gonna hold it right there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go a little further to the back. That way you can see how cool this thing looks. We'll leave it right there. Guys, this thing looks like a real helicopter just hovering up there. And like I said, it is a little bit windy. As you see those trees moving. Zoom out a little so they can see those trees. And the helicopter is fighting it. I mean, you see it bopping around a little, but it's holding its position, right? Notice on the screen, I'm not touching the controls at all. It's doing a good job fighting that wind, man. So these GPS helis are really a game changer. If you have never flown an RC helicopter and you have a budget for something like this, it's definitely a good way for a beginner to get into it. Now, a lot of you will probably come at me and say, hey, like, I've said this in my videos before. Like, if you're a beginner, you don't have a big budget. That's not necessarily true. If you're a kid looking to fly an RC helicopter, then yeah, Razordon does have good options for $100. But if, you know, you have a big budget and you like something cool, this is one that will fly even easier than those small $100 helicopters, because that GPS really just simplifies flying. And you could even go into the computer, right? And you could lower your rates. So essentially, you could make this helicopter so that this is full rate of flying. If you're scared of, you know, that sensitivity for a little higher rate. But I mean, guys, full control. I'm flying a 470 size helicopter in my backyard. You know, again, I'm being a little cautious because, again, you know, the helicopter, the facts are the facts. It is damaged, and I have tape holding it on. But that's not to say once this thing's fixed. I will be bringing this to the field and showing you guys full 3D capability. Now, when you go into 3D mode with these, the head speed does kick up, right, to make it even a little more, you know, capable, which that will jeopardize your flight time a little bit. So just be wary of that. If you guys are a 3D pilot, you buy one of these thinking 20-minute flight times or even 12, like I said, you know, that's going to get cut. But that's not to say it won't fly longer than, you know, a typical RC helicopter you're going to buy. These things really do fly well. Look at that. Oh my gosh, she's so good looking. Now remember I said it has pre-programmed flight modes. I'm going to show you guys that right now. So on that remote, it has 0. So we're going to hit 0 and it should fly in a circle. Let's see. I just got to keep an eye out because I don't want it to hit the trees or anything like that. But notice how low I am to the floor. So you could do this low, you could do this high, you could do it anywhere. You could put a camera on this thing and, you know, if you want to film another one of your aircraft, you put a camera on this and you put it up in the air with a pre-programmed flight mode and just let it do its thing, man. Look at that. That's so cool. Now I'm going to hit it down to figure 8. Now let's see where it cuts in. Again, you got to be cautious where you do this. I'm low to the floor. So it doesn't have obstacle avoidance. So if you don't do it in the right spot, you know, it could hit something. Now to cancel it out, which I'm going to let it do its full figure 8, it'll do this pattern indefinitely too, right? Until the battery gets low, which then the helicopter knows and it's going to come and kind of automatically bring itself in for a land. But to cancel it out, you could either take that switch, put it back to normal, or just kind of hit the controls and you'll take back control. So right there, we're going to go back to normal, my helicopter. And let's do return to home. So I'm going to bring it away a little bit. And I'm over the woods. Let's bring it right there, guys. Now it's hovering. I'm going to hit return to home. And this helicopter should come in and land within, I would say within 10 feet of where I took off, right? So, I mean, let's see. Hopefully it's pretty spot on. Now the crazy thing is, yeah, it always looks like it's going to land above you. But as it comes down, you notice it actually is in front of you, so hard for you to see. You want me to take the camera for a second? Because I don't actually need to control the helicopter right now. No, you good? Now it descends slowly, and then when it gets maybe 20 feet, it slows down even more. Guys, I canceled the return to home because my phone overheated. So Cheyenne ran inside. She has her phone out. And now we're going to continue that return to home. So I'm hitting home. And kind of where we left off. So it's coming down. And like I said, man, it should land within 10 feet of where we took off. Is she even coming down? I don't know how it works when you cancel return to home. Yeah, she's coming. Took a second there, but she's coming. Nice and slow too. Oh, the wind's kicking up just in time. Let's see how she performs. Oh, the trees are blowing. The umbrella's blowing. The heli's staying strong though, man. Now this function's good, right? Because if you're away and something happens and there's an emergency or something and you need to land, or even if you lose sight of this over some trees or something, you hit return to home, this does not just make a straight path back. It's going to climb up to a certain altitude, which I forget what that altitude is. I got to read it in the manual. But it's going to climb up, fly over to where you took off, and bring itself in. Now guys, look, I'm not touching the remote. It even shut itself off. Now for safety, we're going back at the stop. There's one more test that I want to do with this thing. Then we're going to call that a flight, because I need to get this sent out. I need to get it back to FLYWING. They got to fix this thing for me just because it's such a cool helicopter. Now remember, hold these sticks out to the corner for 5 seconds, turn it to run, and she's going to spool up. Tail rotor always starts first. Main rotor spool up after. Let's get this thing in the air, man. Hey Shy, while it's spooling up, turn around and show the people the PJ flying over the house. Look at that thing. How do I get on that? Is that my buddy John? I got a lot of friends that fly private jets in real life, guys. Now check it out. We're gonna call this the leaf blower test. A little sketchy. Let's see. Dude, I'm hitting the side of this thing perfect. I'm not touching the remote either, you see on the screen. She's doing good. I think this is rated for like 150 miles an hour. I'm impressed. So, I mean, that shows you guys are going to be able to fly this in a little wind. Now, I do not advise you to go out and take your leaf blower to your brand new GPS helicopter. But, that's what I'm here for, to do dumb things. She's so dialed, so smooth. I can't wait to get this fixed and get this thing back. Ideally, I probably should have brought it to the field and did some 3D first in case I broke it even worse. But like I said, man, I don't know. When a forklift hits an RC helicopter, it's probably a good idea to have the company that makes it check it out. Let's back this thing up and bring her in for a land. Just like that, she is in. Guys, GPS helis are really changing the game. They're taking 470 size helicopters where 10, 15 years ago we would never dream of flying. But now, anybody could fly this. And, I mean, like, a 5-year-old under supervision by a parent can fly this. No, I'm not telling you guys to just give this to your 5-year-old and let him, do his thing. These blades are very dangerous. These are meant for ages 14 and up. So keep that in mind. But anybody can fly it. This is something I would give to my dad, who's 66, has no interest in RC, likes the cigar in his mouth, and he would have some fun buzzing this thing around. Wind's kicking up. It held up, man. Like I said, it is damaged. I'm excited to get this thing fixed because I do think this is probably the coolest scheme they came out with yet. It's definitely a easy one to see. But hey, stay tuned for the 3D video, and as always, if you guys are interested, the link is below with a discount code, and I appreciate you watching. Till next time.